Gribbon tries to get around DeWolf Russ, but a good job by the rookie forward to knock her off stride. Now Gribbon flying into the Laurier zone. Nice little move, backhand shot, she scores!
All right, so let's start off with this one. So as you're coming up the ice on the left-hand side, like what did you see in the defense here?
So, to be honest, I remember this happening. I came around the net and I just noticed that they were giving me so much space. And this ice that we played at is really big compared to like our home arena in Windsor.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I just noticed that, they were trying to push me to the outside, but the outside was still a lot of room. So I came up the ice and I just kept moving my feet. I protected the puck, and I noticed when I was coming in the blue line, the defense weren't really almost wanting me. So they obviously didn't want me to go in the middle, but they also weren't so obvious to that they didn't want me to go in the middle. So I took my space, and that little move that I did, I think it just came to me because I was like, okay, they don't want me to go in the middle. So I'm going to fake like I'm trying and then go wide. And I don't know if you can notice this, but the defense, they were kind of like just their feet were planted. They were just kind of gliding backwards.
Yeah, they're not really moving.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just noticed that. I noticed that, okay, they're not really like charging me. They're not really trying to like make me do something. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it then. You're going to give me all this room. I'm going to take advantage of that. So yeah, I just did that move, and that backhand shot, it just went in. I was actually, with backhand shots, I don't know, like, of course we're going to have to use them one way or another, like whether we like it or not, we need to practice it. And I know goalies have let me know that backhand shots, you don't know where it's going. You don't know how hard it's going to be because it's like your unfavored side, right? Yeah. So that's why I like to use it, is because a lot of goalies, it's almost like they don't know what's going to happen. They're like, oh crap, a backhand shot, like where's it going to go type thing. So yeah.
Is that because the backhand shot is such a difficult thing to aim that you shoot it and it just goes basically wherever it wants to go?
Exactly. So it's kind of like, I'm a lefty, so like my left side is dominant. So when you go to the right side, it's kind of like, oh, how it's not the same. Like, how do I do this?
Unnatural.
Exactly. Unnatural. That's a good word. And yeah, I just wanted to quickly get it off because I knew, like, okay, I skated all this way. The D aren't, as much as the D gave me room, they're not going to let me shoot on their goalie just like point blank.
Yeah.
Get this quick. If I get this off really quick without her being able to react to it, I might go in. And I noticed in the video, I mean, at the time, I don't know if I noticed it, but I had a girl crashing the net. Like I had a girl skating full speed at the net at that time. So even if I shot the backhand and the goalie saved it, I had my teammate coming in. So it was going to cause havoc in the net, on the net, either way. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you kind of charge the net like this and basically just take it from end to end, is there something that could potentially, stop you from, taking this shot, maybe turn around, let your players come back in and set up?
You know what? It kind of like how do I say this? It's like you always have to constantly have your head up because you could look up, it could be one thing, and you look down for 1 second and you look back up and the D or the girl is right there. So at the time, I just noted, like back to what I was saying before, the D didn't challenge me. They gave me that space. So I wanted to take it. Yes, I wanted to go and I wanted to shoot. Now, say she would have come at me, maybe challenged me at the blue line, maybe angled me more, like almost applying a bit more pressure, then yeah, I most likely would have either stopped or delayed. Because like I said, I remember there was I don't know which player it was, but there was a girl going at the net. So if I even delayed that would have allowed my teammates to either crash the net, allow them to come up from changing from our zone. So
now, do you think the defense was so soft on this because they know you're one of the faster players in the league?
Maybe. I mean, I guess maybe like because I don't know from a D's perspective, if you see a forward flying through, like
Mhm.
from the far end, and you're like, oh gosh, like what do I do? Because maybe they didn't want to gap up. Maybe they didn't want to give, like, you gap up and I just go around. I don't know. But
Mhm.
they were very passive. I feel like if they might have came at me a bit more, or maybe I was going a bit too fast that they couldn't do that. I'm not too sure. But yeah.
Now you use the term gap up. Is that what they're doing here? Like, can you elaborate on what that
Elaborate,
means?
yeah. In the play, so it's when I'm skating through the neutral zone,
Hmm.
you can see that there's not really a white jersey around me. So when I say
Hmm.
gap up, I mean the D almost coming up to me and then quickly pivoting. So they're like taking that space to like shorten my space to skate at the net, or to,
Okay.
like, they're basically just giving me less time and less space.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I mean by gap up. So we use that term a lot, like Coach D uses it a lot for our defense, because if you gap up, you're just taking away their space. Like, you're getting closer to them. You're basically meeting them. Whereas it's kind of almost like in this clip, the D are waiting for me. And since
Okay.
I've already built all that speed coming through, I just was like,
You just
thanks for the
blow.
space.
Yeah.
Boop.
Just
Yeah.
you take what they give. So
Exactly.
gap up is essentially just negating the area of space between the two players to force the offensive player to make a move sooner than anticipated.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. It's clearly evident in this play that you just blow past pretty much every defender on their team. Have you always been one of the faster players on the ice? And if so, have you kind of tried to model your game around that?
Yeah, so that's one of my strengths, is my speed and my skating. And I have always worked on my skating and my technique ever since I was just a little kid. So I kind of based, so I knew that my strength was my speed, so then I based my skills and my puck handling based off of that. So, I would always practice stick handling standing still, but then it came to a time where I need to be able to do that at top speed. So that's kind of how I've gotten better, is I've been practicing like little moves and stick handling and proper puck control at my top speed.
Now it'll be sent just outside. Oh my, Gribbon's with it. Gribbon with a nice move. She's into the zone. Gribbon, the shot, she scores!
All right, so I can kind of tell right at the start of this clip, when you take your angle on the puck, you almost go behind the defender. How did you know that defender would miss the puck?
It's almost like I didn't know she was going to miss it. It was kind of like a hope that she was going to miss it. Like,
Okay.
in my head, I'm like, fumble, over her stick. Like, that's what I'm saying to myself.
Yeah.
Also, though, after rewatching the play, we're shorthanded.
Mhm.
So my D, I mean, it doesn't show it, but my D definitely like shot that like off the ice at the boards. So
Mhm.
I feel like, say, I don't know for sure, but I feel like in my head, I was noticing like, okay, it's bouncing. It's at a height on the board. So her stick on the ice probably isn't going to stop it. And if she did stop it,
Mhm.
we were on the PK. So it definitely would have been quick stop, get back as hard as I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like, okay, Jess, if you are going to almost cheat a bit, you better freaking make sure that you're getting back if she
Yeah.
does stop it. I mean, it's good that where she was, it was going to go out of the zone. So they
Mhm.
probably were going to have to regroup anyway. So if she did
Okay.
take it, that probably was going to be almost in my favor,
Mhm.
that they would have to come out of our zone. So it would have given me time to get back a bit
Okay.
on our own side. But
As you come up the ice, you were just moving so fast. Like, what's your technique to just keep this puck under control?
something that I like to do is, if I know that I'm going really fast, I kind of push the puck ahead to where I'm going. Not like keep it beside me and like skate with me. It's almost like I have it in front of me. So then that way it's always in front of me as I'm going. And I kind of like,
Okay.
when we go like farther into the play and that D comes at me, I kind of push it almost around her, where I know, like, you can tell that she's coming at me. She's committed to
Yeah.
coming at me. She's not backing off. So if I just place it into the area where I'm going and the way
Mhm.
that her skates are, I can just quickly go by her.
Okay. When you see the defender coming to slash at the puck, what's your process from like thought to execution as you see that player coming to
Okay.
evade her?
Yeah. So I definitely remember thinking, like, always my first thought was, you are on the PK. Like, if you are going to try and score a shorthanded goal, you better be 100%. So just when I looked up, I noticed that, like I said, she was coming at me. The way her skates were, it's almost like I forget what the word is, but you're past your point of no return. So
Okay.
she had me at that angle. So I just quickly went around her. She was committed to me. It's like the opposite of the other clip where they allowed me to come in. She decided to commit to me right away and not give me that space. Now if she did still commit to me and maybe back off a tiny bit, then she probably would have had me. I probably would have been like, uh-oh, what do I do? Probably just
Mhm.
dump it in. But the fact that she committed right away, like almost bit as I had the
Yeah.
puck, I just like was like, you're not over here anymore, so I'm gonna quickly go over here and keep skating. Yeah. But yeah, I just moved the puck over, and I did it. I just placed it where I knew she wasn't. So she was
Okay.
coming from that end. She was coming from that side. So I just quickly put it to where I knew she wasn't going to be.
So you went back the
And
way she came.
exactly. And in the video, you can see it causes her to turn around, and to try and almost like a turn that is like a couple milliseconds for her to come back and try and catch me.
Yeah.
But
So, as you're coming up for the shot, what do you see in the goalie's stance that kind of like lets you know where to aim your puck at?
okay, so from rewatching the clip a couple times over, it's kind of jogging my memory a bit. Usually when I am on a breakaway like this, not like a penalty shot, okay, in the video you can tell that I have room on her, like I have a step on her, I'm by her. In person, I felt like she was right on me. So I
Okay.
felt like I didn't have time to go to my forehand and properly aim it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I almost kind of took advantage of this backhand shot. Was back to I know goalies have said to me backhands are the worst shots. You never know where they're going. Almost the hardest shots to handle. So, and you know what? Maybe I did have time to go to my forehand and come across. In the moment, I just was like, okay, you have this. You're just shoot it as quick as you can. Let's use this backhand.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it kind of throws her off a bit. She thinks it's going right and it's actually going left. And yeah, I honestly just shot it. I
just
shot it. I just
just
went for it. Yeah.
took a shot, just went for it, and well,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, it worked out. So I don't think you could have done
Yeah.
anything differently. A goal's a goal, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
So kind of touching in a little more to the backhand shot,
Mhm.
we talked about this before. It's an extremely difficult shot to pull off. How, in terms of like, let's say biomechanics and maybe your stick handling, how do you generate the power to just get that shot off the ground and up to where you want
Mhm.
it to go, or in the area that you want it to go?
Yeah. So I kind of was always taught, like, when you're learning to shoot, you load on your back foot and then you follow through. I was always taught the same thing for your backhand. If you want power, you're gonna have to go back and follow through. And it all depends with your skill set and everything. But I found that I kind of roll my hands to try and help it with the power of my legs. I like roll my hands and almost flick my hands a bit. So if you want to make a pass, you probably don't want to flick your hands. But in this case, I just wanted it to get off the ice a bit. I wanted that shot to get off the ice. So I kind of flicked my hands with my like legs, and you can kind of see my stance is like really wide and my knees
Mm-hmm.
are bent. So with like my wide bent knees, I was able to like get that force and flick it over her. I'm pretty sure it went low glove. Like it was kind of that awkward spot where it was between her glove and her pad. So it was really
Yeah.
awkward for her to go down and grab it. But yeah, I mean, backhand shots don't need to be hard and not flicky. If they
Mm-hmm.
are, it's like you said, a shot's a shot.
Yeah.
And we kind of call it a muffin shot. If it's like flicky
Okay.
at you, sometimes it's hard to handle. So yeah, I just quickly did it as hard and as fast as I could.
Gardner with it in the corner, tries to get that one out, and that's kept in by Amy Mater, tipped in front, and that's a goal! 2-goal lead for the Lancers. 4 minutes and 19 seconds left. Shot by Amy Mater is tipped in front of the net by Gribbon.
All right, so when you're in the opponent's end and, the puck's kind of moving around like this, do you and the other forwards have specific spots you need to go to or jobs that you need to do?
While we're in the zone? Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically with this, we're on a face-off. So when we start with a face-off, you go in having to know 2 different scenarios. So you have if you win and if you lose the draw. So going in, I'm the center here, so I've already told my wingers what face-off play we're going to use. And so we know our roles if I win the draw. I don't remember specifically which play I chose to do here, but the second scenario is, where are you going if you lose? Now, I'm sure York did have a defensive play here, like maybe I don't specifically remember, but from watching this, we kind of have like F1, F2, and F3. So there's 3 forwards, right? So when you forecheck, I'm pretty sure right now our forecheck here was to have 2 on the puck. So F1 and F2 charge right away. And that was after a lost draw. So when we lost it, we were like, okay, we're getting that puck back. So as you can see in the clip, I go right away. I'm like at the girl right there. My other winger kind of cheats behind the net just in case if they try and, go around behind the net that way. And then my other forward comes to the wall to try and block off that pass. Now, in the play, their girl misses it, so it comes up to our D. So that forecheck almost caused them to like, oh crap, they're on us right away. Almost like a panic, throw up the wall type thing.
So is there something that you see specifically in the shot here that you're going to have to bat it down towards the ice, or is that just a heads up play by you?
You know what? Like, it comes with trust in your defense too, because coming from the point, that they're going to shoot it hard and they're going to shoot it a safe low. Like, their shots are going to be to the net as hard as they can and they're going to get it through. Personally, I always just go to the net ready. I'm always looking just in case, because when you tip it, it's back to what's harder for the goalie. So it's definitely harder for the goalie if she has a screen in front of her. So in the clip, my teammate there is perfectly screened. She has her D screen in her. And then with me, I just always go stick on the ice, ready to go to the net. And just in case, I'm ready. If I have to tip it, I have to tip it. Tipping it's really hard, but I got it. I got it this time, and I was honestly, it's just trying to make the causing havoc for the goalie.
Okay. So just making it's like the backhand shot.
Exactly.
Just makes it difficult for them. Okay.
Exactly. The screen and the tips, and I mean, I give goalies props because I don't know how they do it. They make amazing saves. They work so hard. And but just try and make it hard for them.
Make their life a little bit more difficult. Pucks are an incredibly small target to hit, and you do it. It looks relatively easy. I'm sure it's not, but you make it seem very easy. Is that something that you kind of like practice on and outside of game time?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was one of those girls who was scared to be in front of the net because I didn't want to get hit with the puck. And then as I grew older, I became that player who always wanted to be at the net. Like, I always wanted to be there. I just wanted to be in front, whether I scored or not, just causing havoc, wreaking havoc, just making sure that my team has those opportunities to score. So as I grew older, I got better with like screening the goalie. And then when it comes to screening, you don't want to just stand there. You want to maybe tip it. Exactly. So you get that skill. I remember a couple practices when I was in high school, we would purposely take 10-15 minutes. The D would stand at the point and I would just stand, and she would shoot it and I would just try my best to tip it. And with hand-eye, my team, we've been working, like the university team, we've worked on different hand-eye drills all summer long. Last summer with COVID, we worked on different stick plays and even just hand-eye with just juggling, like we did juggling a lot. But yeah, it comes with practice, and sometimes you miss it, sometimes you think you're just gonna get it, and yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a culmination of a bunch of different hand-eye and other aspects that mold into the final product that we see, which is a goal.
Yeah, exactly. So tipping is not like you said, it looks easy like from this play, but you definitely need to keep practicing it and not be afraid of being in front of the net.
I guess I'll end it off with, this little slide on the ice celebration you have here. Is that your signature celebration, or is that you kind of just like change it from moment to moment, whatever feels best?
I'm gonna be honest, I've always been and my teammates can vouch for me too, like my older teammates, I've always been that person who's the most excited when we score. I don't know, I guess now doing that hand on that celly on the ice where you sweep the ice, it's just been, I guess that's my go-to. It's kind of like go-to. I'm so excited, so I just do it.
You kind of black out and
I'm just so excited. Yeah. And I know my teammates are excited with me, and it's definitely amazing when you get that you give the energy and then you receive it as well. Like my team, we're always just so excited when we score. We pump each other up. It's amazing energy, and yeah, I guess that slide on the ice is my go-to.
So going back, you talked about the energy you have with your teammates. Is that something that Coach Deanna helps facilitate? And does she approve of these celebrations, I should say?
So yeah, Deanna is very she's not one of those coaches that's constantly yelling. She's very almost like observing everything and not laid back, just like waiting for your reaction. But when we score, she definitely loves when we're yelling and just fists in the air, pumping, like so excited. Yeah, I know she might not look like she's just so into it, but she definitely is, and she definitely loves when she sees us.
She has so more excited. Of that calculated approach.
Almost to the game. Like yes, okay, time to get back to it, guys. Exactly. It's like she's definitely excited, and she definitely loves watching us get so excited.
Yeah, but it focuses on the task at hand.